Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the PowerPod, where I have Marty joining me from Lightning Forge Games. So, welcome, Marty.
Hey, great to be here.
Fantastic stuff. Let's jump straight into it as usual. 20 questions. So, in one sentence, Marty, what problem does your project solve?
So, at Lightning Forge Games, we're building not one but three games in a brand new genre we refer to as AFK and Play, where we're using the best of AI, the best of blockchain to disrupt and innovate in the gaming industry.
Fantastic. Great overview. And what is your 30-second elevator pitch?
Yep. So all of our games, starting with Gladiator Mayhem to YOLO to Grand Tactics Final Order, are fun, innovative games in a variety of genres, but we're building a brand new technology we call LFG agents. LFG agents are AI-powered players that look, feel, and game just like a human, and more importantly, each LFG agent is trained by yourself on your particular playstyle, and you own both the data and the agent itself. So you can actually have it go and play on your behalf. You can have it grinding while you're asleep, while you're at work. Theoretically, you could win a tournament while you're on a flight between Sydney and LA.
It's very incredible. That's a level up on the bots I used to see in Call of Duty, so that's very interesting. And how does your technology differ from competitors?
So we're very fortunate that a lot of our founders actually came over from a gaming and Web3 background, but also from Leonardo AI, one of the fastest startups in Australian history, was acquired by Canva last year. So the level of knowledge, the level of technology we're building on the AI side, especially being applied directly into gaming, is pretty incredible. We're using our secret sauce of both deep reinforcement learning and imitation learning in training our agents, and we've literally built our own deterministic game engine to allow us to get all the data we need out of the game of how you play, so that when we are training your LFG agent, it is trained specifically on how you play different situations, so it will literally feel exactly how you would approach any particular game.
Yeah, no, that's definitely leveling up the gaming space. Certainly interested to kind of see that in action as well. So who's your target demographic?
So we're actually shooting quite broad here. We build what we call hybrid casual games, which are very wide, top of funnel, so very easy to get into, very snackable. Like Gladiator Mayhem is, a 45-second average game time, so you can sort of get in there, have a couple of games, and sort of get out nice and quick. I would say we're targeting both a traditional Web2 audience. We obfuscate a lot of the Web3 under the hood. So you don't need to know what a wallet is. You don't need to know what a private key is. You get all the benefits of Web3 without having to, go down the rabbit hole and be a complete degen. But the second you want to, take full custody of that wallet, you want to, have full control of everything you're doing, you want to get involved heavily in our NFTs, our AI training, our tokens, stuff like that, all that is there ready to go for you. So we see this as the best mix of both something that will appeal to a traditional Web2 gaming audience as well as your Web3 GameFi crowd.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great balance as well for the hyper casual gamers. So yeah, that seems like a great balance. And what's the biggest alpha that you can share with us at this moment in time?
Probably the biggest thing is definitely pay close attention to our socials. We have a mint that will be launching in the coming weeks. That will be obviously with our friends at Avalanche. That will be on C-Chain. Dive into the medium. Definitely read everything, all the value that mint will give to anyone who holds that particular NFT. I've been in the Web3 GameFi space since 2017, 2018, early Axie and stuff like that. I don't think I have ever seen a mint at this price offer this level of utility and value to holders, especially when it comes to long-term value. And by long-term, we are literally talking up to a decade or more.
But yeah, that's some nice alpha. Definitely look out for that one. And moving on to some of the juicier questions now. So what is the harshest but fairest criticism you've ever received?
God, I'll ask my team. I'm sure they would give very different answers there. Probably harshest but fairest. So one of the things with our studio is we don't crunch. I don't have my team working weekends. We're not doing, the crazy 996 schedules that you hear about and stuff like that. But we work very, very hard for the 40 hours a week that we do work. And for some people that may be coming from traditional gaming studios, some people may be coming from AAA, where things can be both crunchy but also a bit more relaxed when they're in earlier stages of development. I know some people find that quite hard to work with. Even though our studio's only been around for 12 months, we have already had some staff members come on board and not quite be happy with the frantic pace at which we like to work. And that's where I'm the CEO. That's top down. That's driven by me. We work in games, which moves very, very fast. We work in Web3, which moves incredibly fast. It's not for everyone, but we've seen how quickly new technology and new companies can sort of come up and try to disrupt that. So, yeah. yeah, it's not the sort of working environment that maybe appeals to everyone. But having said that, a lot of our team are quite happy with the way that we work, especially if you're coming from traditional gaming that does have a crunch culture. I quite like having my weekends to myself. Yeah, that's probably where I would go with.
Love it. Love the conviction. And what is your current take on the market sentiment?
We founded the studio July last year, and everyone's like, the bull's coming, the bull's coming. It's Q3, it's Q4, and it's like, okay, it's Q1, it's early 2020. I would love to know if we are in a bull, a bear, or something else right now, because this is by far the craziest market. I'm in the market I've ever been in. Everything is yo-yoing all over the place. I feel like we've all had like 10 lifetimes of market cycles in the last 12 months. It's been absolutely insane. And even today, people are like, oh, the bull is coming. I'm like, well, I've stopped trying to predict it. We're just heads down building, and I'm hoping and praying that by the time we get a product in the market, that the market is favorable at the time that we do that.
Yeah, I think we're definitely seeing a new market cycle away from the kind of traditional 4-year scope. So, excluding myself, which crypto influencer's opinion do you value the most?
Sam Stefania is by far, in my personal opinion, one of the most knowledgeable people in the Web3 GameFi space. Any opportunity I have to chat with him and catch up, I absolutely love. Obviously, I listen to Gamified every week, and obviously Simplified, like his brother's one as well, are really awesome. I mean, the whole Wolves, all the guys in Wolves are really, really great at what they do. But Sam in particular, I think really does bring the whole GameFi space forward. And as I said, I'm literally in the middle of renovating my entire house because I was on a call with Sam, and his webcam setup and his background and all that was so much better than mine that I just can't have that. So I had to literally renovate my entire house to try and.
Nice, great shout out to Sam there. Moving on swiftly, what is your go-to takeaway or fast food?
At the moment, trying to lose a little bit of weight, so Subway is probably up the top of the list. Having said that, if it's like a Friday night and I've just gone bugger it, I don't care anymore, it is absolutely a good chicken tikka masala from an Indian takeaway place.
Nice, yeah, two polar opposites there. It's both good though, yeah, great choices. What is the best job you've had for life experience?
So back when I was in university, and this is a long time ago, back when I had more hair than you did, I actually started playing poker for a living and did that for a couple of years as a uni student. Traveled to Vegas a couple of times a year, played the World Series of Poker, played a bunch of WPT events. Being immersed in that lifestyle makes you both appreciate the value of a dollar and have no respect for money whatsoever, which are both equally important life skills to have at different times depending on what you are doing. Sometimes you need to be able to bluff away your last dollar with 100% conviction. Other times you need to savor every cent that you have to your name, and you learn this like in that sort of trade. You also will never meet a more interesting cross-section of humanity than what you will meet sitting at a random poker table at 2 a.m. on Las Vegas Strip. So yeah,
It's going to say your transition.
Yeah, that by far has been a huge inspiration and huge source of knowledge for me, like that I've carried through like my entire life.
Yeah, that transition through to the crypto space would have been fairly seamless given the characters you will have met there and the risks you would have taken. So very interesting.
Everyone whinges when the market drops 50%, and I'm like, hey, it's only 50%, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's being able to handle the swings of crypto and just business in general. Yeah, poker absolutely has helped with that in huge ways.
Nice. Which non-crypto app do you use the most?
It's WhatsApp, it's Telegram, it's Signal. It's actually just the Messages app itself. Even though I build mobile games, there's a boatload of games on my phone right now as well. For me, especially in the work that I do, being able to be in touch with the sort of people I need to be in touch with is critical. So yeah, it would definitely be just messaging apps in general. Like, people will know when I'm awake at 4 a.m. in the morning because messages will start firing, and that will usually stop around midnight when I try to get a few hours sleep every day. So yeah, it's one of those things.
Great stuff. That leads me on. Coffee, energy drink, or herbal tea?
I literally have a can of V right here, but my drug of choice is absolutely coffee. Yeah, a good soy latte, that does wonders.
Nice. Gamers and energy drinks, there's definitely synergy there.
Pretty much,
absolutely. Yeah. What's your favourite movie of all time, Marty?
Favorite movie of all time is probably either Hot Shots or Robin Hood Men in Tights. Just stupid, fun, comedy, just zone out and just chill. Yeah, that's probably where I would go for those.
Nice, solid picks. And what is your unpopular opinion about crypto?
Okay, let's see how many people I can piss off on Twitter with this one. Every Web3 game that has existed up until now, including ones that I may have personally worked on, are shit. Any game that refers to itself as a Web3 game is shit and will not make it. Stop making Web3 games, make games. Stop making play and earn mechanics, start making fun mechanics, if you build fun, immersive experiences and take the best of the blockchain has to offer and use that to enhance and elevate the player experience, then you will have people coming and wanting to play your game, not just coming along and trying to extract value out of your ecosystem. Yeah. Basically, in the nicest possible way, and I have so many friends working in Web3 games, and I love so many of them, and there are some really interesting games out there. But if you call yourself a Web3 game, you are not going to make it. Full stop, end of discussion. Let's move on.
Perfect mic drop from Marty there. Beautiful. And who would your dream collaboration partner or company be? It doesn't have to be crypto related.
So this is actually really an interesting question, because this actually kind of started happening not that long ago. So our studio was part of a accelerator ran by Helica, really good partners of ours. We're over at GDC showing off some stuff with them and all that sort of stuff. And one of the guest speakers they had is one of my lifelong inspirations, which is Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering. My prior studio, I was building TCGs. I've been involved in the competitive TCG space since the first day of middle school. To have the opportunity to meet Richard Garfield, to chat to him, to actually discuss game design with him was a very memorable experience. And I've got his email. And yeah, we're actually going to hopefully be chatting about some future collaboration stuff. So yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Some extra alpha there for the audience. What talent do you wish you had?
I mean, playing a musical instrument would be nice. It's one of those things I wish I'd learned as a kid and just never did. But if you just pick a talent that I wish I could do, I wish I had the ability to sleep for 6 to 8 hours uninterrupted every night. If you are running a company, if you are a startup, if you are trying to make it in the Web3 space, or any business field, and you are not getting a solid 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, you are not going to make it. You can go back and read any autobiography you want of any successful billionaire or entrepreneur, and the consistent messaging you will get is they value sleep.
Nice. Very interesting talent there. But no, I definitely agree with what you're saying. So which sports do you watch the most, if any? And do you have any favourite teams?
So I have this discussion quite often. My favourite sport to watch is esports, mostly League of Legends. I used to watch NA, LCS, well, I think they've changed the name of it this year. It's actually really funny because one of the biggest sporting weekends in Australia, or there's a back-to-back weekend where we have the AFL and the NRL Grand Final, so the back-to-back. And that's usually the same time as Worlds for League of Legends. So when all my friends are like, oh, it's this is a big sporting weekend, and I'm like, yeah, it is. And we're talking about completely different things. But yeah, I was at Ton Gateway over in Dubai last year, and yeah, I was able to watch Worlds over there in one of the cinemas with a bunch of locals and that. Really awesome atmosphere. T1 to use their new name, won in the best of 5. Esports. Well, yeah, just there's something about it that when it happens well, it feels almost scripted. You have just Cinderella moments sort of coming through more than you seem to find in traditional sports. You look at the Red Bull Trackmania tournament that happened not that long ago, hosted by Virtual. Where it literally went down to the tiebreaker. It went down to the last lap of the tiebreaker, and Grenady came second because of a glitch or a bug in the game at the very last, last hundredth of a second. Yeah, it's. Esports has the ability to really showcase what we do to the world, and I wish there was more of it.
Absolutely, great answer. Bucket list. What's the number one thing to tick off?
Oh God, I want to learn how to snowboard. Is probably the top thing on my bucket list at the moment. I know we're going to be over in Europe later on this year with LFG. I'm going to take some time for myself and go do some skiing in Switzerland and stuff like that. Because if you're going to do it, you may as well do it in Switzerland, sort of thing. But yeah. Learning the snowboard is probably at the top of my personal bucket list at the moment.
Stuff. And final thoughts or quote for the day?
So a quote that has always stuck with me. If you love your job, you never work a day in your life. I guarantee you I work longer and more hours than 99% of the population. But to me, I don't have a job. I don't work. I consider it an absolute joy and privilege to get to do what I do every day. I get to work with some of the most insanely talented game developers and designers and artists to create amazing things. And then we get to put them in people's hands and watch as people discover what we've created and get to enjoy what we've built. I could not be more blessed to be able to do what I do. When you find that thing that is your calling, your ikigai, and you really get the opportunity to pursue it, yeah. it's magical.
Absolutely. It does feel much better to just love what you do rather than grind away 9 till 5 Monday to Friday. So completely agree with
Absolutely.
that. Well, thank you very much for coming on today, Marty. This has been PowerPod with Lightning Forge Games. So thank you very much. If you liked today's episode, please do drop a like and subscribe and make sure that you share it with your wider community. We also have a fantastic range of sign-up offers to centralized exchanges where you can get fantastic offers and bonuses for signing up via the links that we provide in the description below. In addition to this, all of the revenue that we make from our affiliate links will be going directly back to the Decrypting community. So we are redistributing the way that wealth is shared and generated across the Web3 space. You'll be doing some social good, and we'll be adding a lot of value to people that are looking to engage with safe, centralized exchanges that are offering those unique sign-up bonuses. We will see you in the next episode.